A lot of us have questions about this, but the human suffering that Buddha talked about and says, you know, we're born to suffer. And that's not necessarily true. We're born to, in this third dimension, to experience both aspects. So we have a little bit of suffering, sometimes a lot of suffering, but sometimes we have joy, sometimes we have happiness, sometimes we fall in love and all time stands still. I remember when I met Vicky, it would seem like we were together for 20 minutes and it would be 4 or 5 hours. And I would just like, God, where did the time go? Because it didn't seem that quick. But when we get in that 5D, there is no time. So when you get in a love consciousness, you'll notice that time is relative. Now, humans are old reality of suffering. Suffering leads to enslavement and no change on the planet. So the cabal is trying to put us into slavery and suffering and chaos so they can keep control of the planet. Now, what God's plan is the new love quantum reality equals faith, which leads to loving thoughts sent out purposely, assistance to change others' thoughts and souls, a new reality, instantaneous, is going to happen when we all get to that point where we're all 51% there. And humans are love consciousness with clear intention to wake up others with elevated joy, love, and compassion, manifests a love consciousness, and miraculous, amazing things start to happen in our world. Now, one of the things that St. Germaine wanted me to talk about a little bit tonight, and I know I've gone over the 20 minutes, is that when we get into that consciousness of love, we actually receive additional powers from God. And those powers are precipitation. I'm finding that I'm able to manifest so much quicker now that I'm in the love consciousness. And it's helpful in all kinds of ways. I can telepathically communicate and send messages telepathically almost as good as my cell phone now. And as we learn this and use it, it develops even quicker. So I want all of us to use our love consciousness and manifest miracles. So our assignment is, I am responsible for sending out telepathic love consciousness. I have the help of the Ascended Masters to assist me with my telepathic communication. I am not alone. I have assistance with other like-minded beings. So the more of us there are, and the more we practice this together, so you'll be doing it with you, but I'll be feeling and sensing your telepathic communication. Others in our group will be doing it, and that one of the things St. Germaine taught me about Jesus's teaching people to have 2 or more of you is that when 2 or more of you are in the same consciousness, praying and having faith about the same thing, great things happen. Miracles start happening. You know, when we had people praying for my wife's cousin, he got out of pain, and he's still out of pain. And it's remarkable how we can help and assist others with our prayer, our love consciousness, and our telepathic communication. Because we also, there's a telekinesis that goes with this also that moves the energy and shifts it. Okay, so the main assignment is I practice loving telepathic communication daily. focusing my mind with positive thoughts and emotions all on all the people around me and in our world, putting positive and loving thoughts into their minds. Now we're going to have a question and answer period. I'm going to stop the slideshow and unmute. Go ahead and unmute yourselves, and if you have a question, give us that question. Oh, okay. So somebody wave if they have a question or say something.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Joyce.
Would you please model what your thought process might be if you're deliberately practicing telepathy to send positive thoughts by speaking your thoughts out loud, and what you might be actually thinking? Can you do that?
Yes, I'll do that for you right now. Okay. Now you don't even have to say anything out loud unless you choose to.
Right.
But what I do is I take and I put my brain and my heart into congruence, which means I put them in a love consciousness and associate my brain with my heart. That makes the energy go from millivolts to kilovolts, which is 1,000,000 times more powerful. Then I send the thoughts of love consciousness. Now, love consciousness is a joy and a happiness that sends out a energy that makes people feel good, and it makes them happier because they all of a sudden, and believe it or not, this love conscious energy actually dispels. Now when you say the word dispels, it takes away all the negativity, the spells that have been cast on people, the energy. It dispels that energy. Uh-oh, I think somebody's got more noise than we need. But anyway, so when I do this, I've actually learned how to unincantate spells. And we remove that negative energy through the love consciousness, because love heals everything, including negative energy. I've even had, okay, so I literally put my mind and heart together, and then I start communicating that out through the light of my auric field. Now your auric field extends out into the universe. So you're not only affecting people in a short distance from you, but you're affecting everything around you, including the earth. Then I go into gratitude and thank everyone around me for going into the love consciousness. And I thank the fairies for assisting me. I thank the ascended masters for assisting me. I thank the Elohim and the angels and the archangels, all of the cosmic beings of light and love. Now, when you give gratitude to everything, including Mother Earth, guess what happens? The consciousness of everything receives that unconditional love and gratitude. Now, gratitude vibrates in unconditional love. And it's the best receivership vibration. So after you've sent out that unconditional love, I ask them to wake up and learn about the new cosmic reality of the Ascension and our evolution. Now, Vicki and I attended a healing conference over the weekend, and I was sitting there practicing this. And I had several people come up to me and start going, "What are you doing?" You know, because they were just attracted to the energy I was spewing out from myself. And I taught them what I was doing and why I was doing it. And it opened up a whole conversation with them about the 24-strand DNA manifestation, the Ascension, about, you know, developing our cognitive and supernatural abilities. And I was able to just keep busy during the whole conference just teaching people. New people kept coming by and learning. So this works. I know it works because I do this and people appear. Now, I've never had success advertising in the normal business ways. Whenever my business gets slow, I'll sit down with a couple of my employees and we will pray that those who are ready to heal, ready to learn, will find us. And that's the prayer that we put out there. And within seconds of doing that, the phone starts ringing. People start walking in the store. I mean, it's the most amazing thing. I actually had 3 people who had prayed for help and assistance with their health, and all 3 of them found me on Saturday, and I was able to teach them and put them on some herbs that would help them. And they had been to multiple different people, even alternative practitioners, and had received no help. But when I tuned into their energy and they were drawn into me, we were able to talk about what was going on, and they understood what was happening to their body and how to help themselves. Does that answer your question, Joyce? That was a long discussion. Sorry about that. Anybody else have a question? Raise your hands or make some noise. We'll unmute people and see if we can't get some more questions.
Hi, Dr. Scott.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay, thank you. Keeping myself busy.
Good, Liz. Ask your question.
So the question is, when you receive a message, how do you know it's from your mind creating it or it's coming from somewhere else? Is that strong that you know how to separate?
Okay. Yes. Now, if we're receiving messages that make us want to do something unethical, immoral, or wrong, we know it's coming from a negative energy source. Most of our thoughts that come from us, who are, you know, we're all pretty good beings and we've really tried to control our lives. And if we receive any thoughts outside of that, they're probably coming from outside of us. And so we don't act on them because we recognize they're, you know, immoral, unethical, and not good thoughts. So it's important that we have our base in knowing what's right and wrong. And, you know, all of us are pretty much beings who incarnated on the planet at this time to help with the Ascension. That's why you're a part of this group. And so we have thoughts of kindness, thoughts of healing, thoughts of compassion. And those thoughts, when we have them, they raise our consciousness, and others feel that. So the way you recognize whether they're coming from you or a higher being is what kind of thoughts they are. if they're thoughts of joy, thoughts of happiness, thoughts of helping and assisting others, thoughts of gratitude, those are the good thoughts. And even if they aren't coming from you, if they're coming from somebody else and they're good thoughts, that's a good thing. But you can ask yourself with kinesiology. Oh, we got somebody making some noise in the background.
Yeah, that's annoying if those people just mute out, because it's really annoying.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Because there's only 28 people.
Yeah.
Tell them to mute out.
So anyway, it's interesting because we can test with kinesiology even good thoughts that are coming into us. We can ask, okay, now I tell my body to go forward for a yes and move backward for a no. And so you can ask, are these thoughts coming from me? Okay, I'm getting a no. Are these thoughts coming from Saint Germaine? I'm getting yes. So Saint Germaine is telepathically communicating with me and helping me answer the questions more appropriately with Ascended Masters telepathic communication. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can ask, okay, is this coming from me or coming from another source? And you ask one question at a time, feel your body move, and then go with that answer. Now we have time for one more question. Does anybody else have a question? Go ahead.
There we are. When we have our loving thought and consciousness going out, how do we know that we're projecting that to whom we directed that to?
Okay, we focus on that person. We can either say their name or know who they're associated with. Like when I do intuitive readings, I always get questions. Okay, my sister's having this trouble. Can you tell me what's going on? Well, I tune in, I ask for the sister's name, and I tune in through that person that asked me that about the sister, and I start receiving information. Now, when we have people around us that we want to affect, we focus on those people. And I would additionally ask for the Ascended Masters to assist you, the angels to assist you and protect you, and the divine cosmic beings of light and love. I'd ask the star children, the Elohim, get a whole bunch of you working on these people. And focus your energy on whoever you desire to receive it and send the messages, whatever the message is you want to send. I know this stuff works. I've thought of my friend and had them call me on the phone within 30 seconds. Have many of you had that happen? I mean, and I'll get a message, oh, you need to call your mother. So I call my mom and she's like, I was just about ready to call you. We have telepathy and we receive information. Our job is to act on it in the love consciousness with the assistance of the Ascended Masters. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Good. Does that answer your question?
You surely did well.
Okay, very good. So we're out of time. I'm going to go ahead and do a blessing, but the blessing will be on a third video. And that's okay, because then if you just want to listen to the blessing, because the blessing, Saint Germaine told me that when I give blessings, they're going to continue and you can re-listen to them and they will send the same energy to you again. So just know that's a part of what we're doing. Thank you again for being here tonight.